today is the day after my pulmonary test. So today is now June 19th, 2013. And I'm sure if you've watched the video already where I talk about what happened to me at West Park and how my test went, great. Because this video is different because I will admit, okay, where I live and amongst my friends, past and present, West Park, it's kind of a place I never thought I'd ever have to see. Only because, even though West Park does good, it scares the hell out of me. And I've seen several friends go in and not make it back out, or they go in and they come out a little worse for wear, and they don't last much longer after that. But then again, I've got friends that went in and everything's hunky-dory. So I was extremely nervous, you know, and unfortunately if I had a webcam with me, it would have been friggin' hilarious, only because, okay, remember, I've never been to this place, didn't even know where it was on the map, physically, where all the rooms and, you know, labs and parking and all that stuff, had no idea where anything was. And I don't know about you, but I like to know in advance where I'm going and how I'm getting there. So if I was told that it was a red door I gotta go through, and the door that I come up to is green, you think I'm gonna walk in that door? No, I'm gonna go looking for the red door. I'm that picky, that precise. So going and just flying by the seat of my pants, and, you know, relying on the GPS and my husband to get me there, I was a little nervous, but we got there. We didn't find the parking that good, but there again, dropped me off. I go in and do what I can get started to say, hey, I'm here, because I was supposed to be there for 9:30, so I was very scared. No, I'm not going to go, oh my God, where the hell am I? And I thought, okay, those doors do open the other way, don't they? Because it reminded me of that Star Trek episode where they land on this planet and they go through the revolving door and they can't get out. I forget the name of the episode, but I did not want to go through a set of doors knowing that they weren't going to open if I come back out. So I was met up with a nice fellow by the name of Kenny. And man, for an Asian man, he was tall. Not quite as tall as my husband, but he was tall. And like I said, his name was Kenny. So how many people out there are giggling now thinking about South Park? Kenny! But anyway, I'll never forget him now because of that. And so he was basically the tour guide. It was his job to escort me from test to the doctor, and that's where he hung out. He hung out in the clinic reception area. So once I knew certain things and where they were at West Park, I wasn't too bad. I felt a little more comfortable. The people there were very friendly. Other patients, though, that was different. You know, and I don't mean to be bad or nasty about them, but as I was coming out of this one room, I can't remember exactly what room, but I was coming out, so we had to open the door, and right in front of us, this manual wheelchair collapsed in front of us, blocking the way. And so I backed up, allowing my husband to step out first. He picked up the manual wheelchair and went to push it out of the way up against the wall somewhere, when a young gentleman in a power wheelchair said, no, I'm taking that back where I got it. And mentally thought, oh, the light's on, but nobody's home. And so, my husband being polite, he pushes the chair back over to that gentleman, and away he goes, continuing on down the hallway. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And you gotta remember, I'm a little skittish around people that I feel don't really have their brains about them because of all the things that happened to me as a young child. So if you don't have your marbles, I'm a little leery of you. Whether you're mean-spirited or not, I do get a little restless. And I saw other people there with ventilators and stuff, and I will admit I'm starting to feel a little more uneasy, but after the whole thing, all in all, it's not bad, but it did make me think, what will I feel like when and if I get to that bridge? I know, personally speaking, that I will accept being ventilated, whether it be temporary or permanent. My only concern and fear is how do I live life with it? Yes, I know friends that have it and they're living just fine, but how do you make that transition from not being dependent on it to being physically attached to it and still go about your business? What the doctor told me is, from his experience, what other patients have said to him, is quite simply, it's getting used to how your chair physically changed. He said, like, some things that they mentioned is that doorways that they used to go through don't go through as easily as they did before. They can't go into a restaurant and sit at that favorite table anymore without, I guess, sticking out further in the back. So there's a lot of issues in a physical parameter concern, I guess. As far as an intimate physical concern, they've all mentioned that, yeah, you got it, you feel it. There are days where you might feel a little pain, discomfort. And then, of course, what did he tell me? Tell me the worst horror story you could ever hear. He told me that he witnessed the passing of some poor soul who went into a bit of a seizure where his arm came up to where his, what do you call that little plastic thing that's in your throat? Whatever that attachment is, his hand came up there and hit it, but knocked it to the side, and apparently that ripped an artery open. And I'm not a vampire, but yeah, the whole envision that's in my brain is spew, 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 and screaming and and unfortunately that poor soul did pass on, even though they were actually in West Park. They just couldn't move fast enough to save him. So he said you're going to have to be extremely careful of, exposing that part of your neck to outside forces. And to remember that, yeah, it's now a direct opening from outside air to your body. And all these other little things, which, quite frankly, after that artery story, I kind of blanked it out. I mean, I'm aware of certain things, and I'm going back again to West Park to do a sleep study. Because while I'm awake and doing my own thing, apparently I don't have much to be concerned about. So I've got to learn to stop worrying, which is a hard thing to do. But, it just does concern me. And I came back out of that whole experience with a better understanding of West Park. But I got a lot of years backed up thinking the worst of West Park, and what I saw the other day wasn't that bad. Yes, I did see a lot of depressed looking people, but in the back of my head I'm saying, well, at least you're alive. You could be dead. But, oh well. Bye.